hello. I hope you can hear me. Hope you're doing well. I hope you, yeah. So hopefully you can hear me and everything is going well. I'm still not feeling the greatest, but I'm going to be okay. I will survive. I thought tonight I would lighten the mood a little bit. And we want to talk about some Karens being Karens. I thought we needed a little bit of a laugh, just with a lot of the stuff that's going on around the place. So, hello, Cal. How are you? So BuzzFeed have some funny stories about Karens, and this is no offense to any Karens, but I thought we will, we'll try and lighten the moods and things, So technically, I'm out of ISO tomorrow. My 7 days expires tomorrow. However, I don't feel amazing. I still feel very much under the weather, and I have a huge headache, and I'm still suffering from nausea. So with those two things, I don't know that I'll be doing much tomorrow. I won't be like running through the street saying, "Yay, I'm out of quarantine." But anyway, so good. Have had many of my own run-ins with this Karen creature. Have you? Yeah. Look, Karens are funny. I mean, they're. So here is one. A scammer at Aldi's. Don't give your shopping cart to someone for free at Aldi's. I did today when the guy said he didn't have a quarter. Then after I got to my car, I saw he'd returned the cart, got the quarter, and was standing there again looking like he didn't have a quarter. I started back to him. He saw me, got in his car. I went over and demanded my quarter back, or that I'd call the police. It's not the money. It's the fact he took advantage of my good nature. I'm sure he went back after I left. Hello, Vedandra. Yeah, I'm feeling better, but I'm still under the weather. A quarter. I mean, I know that for Aldi in Australia, it's like $1 or $2 coin. It's a gold coin. So I'm sure the police would really love to have a phone call over that. All right. It says these two Karens blocked 2 prime parking spaces for their family that was around the corner. I've actually seen people do that too. I mean, I have done it myself, I have to say. But at least I was honest and said I was reserving it. Hello, Angela. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better. I'm still not 100%. If I could get rid of the headache and nausea, I'd be great. So, okay. This person literally could have just gone and eaten at a restaurant but decided to complain instead. So this Karen gives a bad review because she didn't like that they had one breakfast option for either Saturday and Sunday. And by the way, love your plans with me. Thank you, Vedandra. Thank you. Yes, I've got another couple to upload because I did some filming today. So yeah, make sure you check out Plan to Create as well. She's just put up a video as well after her illness, so she's back planning as well. So what no one tells you is that for breakfast, which is available only on weekends, you can have French toast and scrambled eggs and fruit on Saturday, and pancakes and biscuits and gravy and fruit on Sunday. No ham, no hash browns, etc. $10 for a full order, $8 for half an order. Sorry, but the hotel we stayed at in Seaside had a much larger menu available for free continental breakfast. I don't much like being told what I can eat. It was pretty shock. I was pretty shook when I realized I was being told what to eat. No thanks. That was higher than next door. I had to get a compliance officers because Karen complained that my back porch light that I was in. So she doesn't like the fact that there was only one breakfast option for Saturday or one breakfast option for Sunday. You don't actually have to eat there, Okay, an employee for a company I work for refused entry to an unvaccinated person back when vaccine checks were mandatory here in Sydney. They felt so discriminated against for not being able to pick up their curtains. They compared it to Nazi Germany. Absolutely disgusting behaviour by staff. Raphael refused to allow a click and collect without showing a vax passport. Would you refuse admission to someone that chooses their own medical treatment? People like this are part of the problem, not the solution. Management are just as much to blame by putting kids on front doors who have never studied history. This form of apartheid happened in Germany in 1937, and you clearly have not learned from history. Any form of discrimination is not okay. Well, at the end of the day, they were just following the law. So, yeah. So, and I don't think you can compare it. I don't think the two are comparable, in my opinion. But I mean, we've got COVID is skyrocketing here, and so what does our government decide to do? I will let everybody into the country, whether they're vaccinated or not. But yet, our health workers, there are still certain segments of the community that you actually have to be vaccinated in. So I don't know what the government's doing. I really don't. Okay, so this Karen was mad. Guests wouldn't donate $1,500 to her wedding. The audacity of, we don't have neighbours like that. My yard is my yard. We can do whatever we want. We don't have councils to tell us what we can or can't do. Oh, that's good, Vidandra. Well, we have councils, yeah, that tell us what to do. Then they charge us for the privilege. Anyway, this one says, anyway, I'm exhausted. I am bone tired. My heart is not the same. It's stone cold, fragmented, empty. I need to get away from this awful society. How hard would it have been to effing donate, friends? Do I matter to you? Just effing give me money for my wedding. I won't even sugarcoat. I won't even pretend that that's not what I wanted. It was for a dream. I was stabbed. I was cheated on, and I don't know what that means. Goodbye. See ya in 2 months. Friendly reminder to you, don't think you own me. I'm cutting all of you snakes off. I'm living my life alone now. I only let those in I believe have good intentions. And then someone says, I have no words. You're out of your mind, Susan. What happened to you? Who the hell expects that amount of money? How dare she that her guests wouldn't donate $1,500 to the wedding? There are some entitled Karens out there. This Karen couldn't handle the fact that her travel agent was on Christmas vacation. Wow. So this Karen reviews a travel agent for being on Christmas vacation with their family. I would give 0 stars if I could. I originally went to Redacted for another agent. He left the company and Redacted was assigned as my new agent. There was periodically times when I'd need something from him and could never get hold of him, not with the number on the website or the other number I had for him. Eventually, I wanted to shop around. I called 4 times, 4 different days to get a December page sent over. Never returned call, sent an email, and he called back relatively quickly and sent info over. I received quotes from another company saving over $100 a month. I called to cancel. Shockingly enough, no one answered. Called next day, no answer. Finally, 3 days, got an answer. Requested to cancel insurance. He said, I will take care of that. I asked for confirmation email and he hung up on me. Called numerous times and he ignored each call. All around, it was just a very unprofessional experience. Over the years, I've been with 3 different insurance agencies and never had a hard time getting someone to answer the phone. Redacted. Yes, you did mention you're on vacation. Totally understandable. If you saw I had called numerous times, it is not best practice. Is it not best practice to return a phone call? This doesn't mention the struggles I had contacting you in November about the chimney, or previously in summer when I needed an insurance card. Yes, you emailed over the confirmation as requested. You also hung up on me after I requested, then ignored my calls afterwards. Extremely unprofessional. I am disappointed to see you lie about hanging up on me. The least you could do is own up to it and apologize. I was sitting on my dining room table with perfect reception. Ironically, the only time we've ever had reception issues just happened to be after I cancelled coverage. blowing up your phone. What a wonderful way to speak to a customer. Well, thankfully, a former customer as of the 20th. And this was the response from the owner. Redacted called while I was on vacation over Christmas. Holidays numerous times, never left a message stating what he needed on the voicemail as instructed in my message. I sent him confirmation of everything via email as he asked. I even told him I had been on vacation. You didn't even call me in November. You called a non-working number. I didn't hang up on you. I told you I would get it worked on and responded yes to you when you asked about the confirmation. I don't know what happened to your connection, but when you blew up my phone after I was trying to do what you asked, have some common courtesy. I run the business by myself and have other clients as well. So a giant power line fell on someone else's car. This woman decided to complain about her personal inconvenience. Karen didn't like that she had no leg to stand on. She took me for nudity in my backyard and spying on her daughter. A case was thrown out. I did that. Wow. Believe it or not, Kel, I start defamation next week, studying defamation. Woohoo! I'm excited. Anyway, so my next door neighbor, really? First really cold day of the year, and the power is going out for 9 hours. Job well done, local energy company. And we will all get 2 cents of our bill. Way to be on top of things. And then someone says, you're joking, right? Does this look like an easy fix? So the power pole has squashed a car and the person's complaining about the fact there's no power. Don't worry about the fact that there's a squashed car there or somebody else's car there. And maybe somebody was driving the car. Maybe someone's in that car. But yeah, don't worry about your own little inconvenience. So this person literally celebrity level treatment as consolation for their plans being cancelled due to COVID. Okay, Karen, there's only a worldwide epidemic going on. Even her husband has had enough. I'm writing this in the bathroom because I just got into a huge argument with my husband and I don't know what to do. We and our 3 children had an upcoming trip planned for Disney World on Tuesday. A 10-day stay at the Grand Floridian and had a wonderful itinerary that included all 4 parks and the Blizzard Beach. Of course, the parks now have closed and my children are beyond devastated. I called Disney's customer service line to speak with a representative about how they can make this right. He promised a refund and the ability to rebook for another time. But that obviously isn't good enough. I told him he needed to do better than that. He said he was just following the guidelines put forth by the company. I suggested, as a means to rectify this, that he provide us future accommodation in the secretive suite located in Cinderella's castle. I said the only way to make up for the hardship my children are facing is to provide us with a truly unforgettable experience, one that goes beyond the standard Disney trip and will completely wash away the painful memories that will undoubtedly stay with us for years. What better way to do so than stay in the castle of Cinderella herself? He audibly scoffed at this and said that was way beyond his authorization. He said tens of thousands had their vacations ruined and that it wasn't his or the company's fault and they were doing the best they can. This dismissal peed me off. I told him that, yes, it wasn't his fault, but it was his responsibility to make it right. Surely, instead of closing down a multi-billion-dollar media conglomerate that's a hegemon in the global theme park industry would have the capacity to simply screen for sick visitors at the park entrances. Instead, they ruined my children's entire year. I hung up the phone in rage and my husband immediately was like, what the F was that? He told me I was a psycho bee for the way I spoke to the customer service rep, that I was extremely unreasonable and rude, and that he was generally disturbed by my behavior. He said he doesn't know what happened to the woman he married, and he's not sure how he can look at me in the same way again. Wow. Hello, Bella. We're talking about Karens today. Looking at stories about Karens. What do you reckon about that one? All right. This Karen not only refused to wear a mask, but also refused to close the door while waiting for her order. It's like 15 degrees outside, but Karen doesn't want to wear a mask while she waits for her to-go order. So she's holding the door open while she waits outside, asking her to close it so everyone in the waiting area doesn't freeze was, to her, being weird. Yeah. And interestingly, she's got the mask in her hand. She's got the mask in her hand. It's not as if she doesn't have a mask. She's got one in her hand. She just doesn't want to wear it. This Karen spun a wheel about what to complain about the day and landed on self-checkouts. Walmart is almost exclusively self-checkout now. The last time I was there, the lady checking receipts at the exit was a little militant and slow. I didn't choose to participate in that nonsense, so I skipped the exit line and left. I heard her say, ma'am, as I kept walking and raised the receipt above my head, leaving the store. Look, you can either trust me to do self-checkout or you can put your cashiers back in place like it used to be. I'm not interested in proving that I did your job for you anymore. Someone says, you're a child, 60 going on 6. This Karen expected her fridge to be pre-cooled. Oh no, really? No, tell me it's not true. I had a new refrigerator delivered today, and they had the nerve to send me one that wasn't pre-cooled. I obviously denied the refrigerator and sent it back. I didn't spend $14.60 for a warm box. I want my fridge to be cold when it arrives. Duh. The dumb driver looked at me like I'm the bad guy. Whatever happened to the customer is always right. Customer service has really gone down the drain. Pre-cooled fridge. That's a new one. This Karen simply could have changed the channel. Watching this trash NBC Marley's New Year's Eve party, knowing they know it's on at the time when kids will watch. If even for Mikey, and they're talking boners, erections, pot, etc., makes me sick. Oh, this is why these people need to be gone. They're constantly trying to corrupt our kids. Yep, you could turn it off or change the channel. This woman wanted an entire store to change its name. To the owner of Sexyland. As an adult entertainer, I used to be a regular customer of Good Vibrations. Since the name change, as a mother, I cannot even drive past the store or listen to your adverts on the radio without it sparking my children's attention. It is very important that my children are not exposed to this kind of curiosity. I now feel inclined to drive to an alternate route as to not get questioned what Sexyland is. The adverts on the radio are just inexcusable. Take me now, Sexyland. What the? Change your name and remove the adverts. I will be putting in a horrible Google review. It would be unfortunate for you if my fans and following do the same. So there you go. This Karen used the fake service dog at an airport. Oh, look at the cute little doggy. But that's not a service dog. That is not a doggy. That's not, well, I don't know. This Karen was upset they didn't get a free dessert. Didn't offer dessert, and it was my birthday. Didn't offer a dessert, and it was my birthday. We appreciate your sense of entitlement during this time. Let us just apologise to you on behalf of all the restaurants, including owners, managers, servers, dishwashers, and other employees that have either lost their jobs, gone bankrupt, had to cut back on everything in life, or had to scramble for other employment during the pandemic, no less, that you were not offered free dessert on your birthday. Free, because that dessert that you so craved on the house is not actually free. Nonetheless, due to this pandemic, we've lost 75% of our business over the last 15 months, had to cut staff and employment hours. We had to cut back on the expenses, and we're no longer offering free items. We do sincerely apologise that you didn't get that dessert. P.S. Your comment has been reported to Google as being inappropriate, because it is. It's offensive to every single person in every single industry that has negatively been affected by this pandemic. It's offensive to every person who lost their job, their business, their savings, and their home. So, this Karen was angry. They got in trouble for literally stealing. Customer called corporate when we asked them to stop stealing soda. Customer can be contacted at either time. Customer issue 1, rude or unprofessional employee complaint. The customer said he asked for a cup of water and then took soda and was upset the manager had said something to him about it. The customer said he thought the employees were giggling about him and his wife. The customer said he would never return to McDonald's again. There you go. Yeah. Oh, look, there's Karens everywhere. This Karen complained about a free drink. Dog park Karen complaining about the size of a free treat from Starbucks. FYI, if you're in that area, not to sound cheap, but after months of giving my pup a short puppuccino with my breakfast order, this morning staff said management ordered them to downgrade to sample size. Fine, if your dog is under 30 pounds. Mine is over 100. Management failed. Staff at Starbucks were told to downgrade their puppuccinos from a short to a mini sampler. This won't work for my 100-pound lab Rottweiler mix. Luckily, lots of other locations to choose from in the area. Cameras are great for, well, they are, yes. So Karen decided her town was now a ghetto because garage sales didn't have boys' clothing. Where are all the boys' clothing at garage sales? I went to a garage sale today that looked like it had boys' clothes, and they didn't have none. I need brand name. UA, Nike, Abercrombie, Hollister brand name. Boys' clothes for garage sale prices. This town is turning into a ghetto. Where is the nice garage sales? She wants brand name clothes for garage sale prices. Quite funny, actually. Oh, boy. This Karen believed removing a coupon was corrupt. I believe they may have removed referrals because of our COVID-19 update, which is completely inappropriate. I want my referral code now. Otherwise, I will immediately suggest my referee use your competitors. Please let me know who I should talk to about that corrupt business process. I don't think I understand. They removed referrals due to COVID. This is inappropriate and corrupt. When people need you most, you eliminate the referral program. Referrals are like coupons, and our company can't afford to give free money at this time. That is why it was removed. This man literally posted a Crime Watch page because he didn't get his Burger King discount. Oh, Male Karen didn't get 50% off his Whopper, so post to a Crime Watch page. So I turn up to Burger King at a minute or two to 8 o'clock to be told the guy serving, I think his name is James. I was told to wait a few minutes while he looked at his till. I was told that as it was 2 minutes past 8 that I was not allowed the 50% off eating in. I then left frustrated, then decided to go back and tried to explain to another member of staff, at which point I was queue jumped by someone else, which frustrated me. As I explained, he just skipped me. The member of staff laughed it off and said, no, he hasn't. He did. I was then told if I was calmer, they would have checked the camera and given me it off. But then it was 8:15. They also do not have any signs up saying what time the off finishes. All they have are opening and closing time. Absolute joke. So this was on a Crime Watch page. That was very hard to read. This Karen policed what type of candy her neighbours gave. Karen only wants big candy bars. Attention all parents in the redacted area. Jolly Ranchers, Suckers and Smarties might be adequate for less fortunate neighbourhoods like Kikero and Oak Park, but not here in redacted. We are way better than them, and the candy we hand out on Halloween must reflect that. Costco has king-size candy bars, and I suggest you all stock up. My kids expect and deserve only the best. See you in a few days. Oh, dear me. You know what I would be doing? I'd be giving them the smallest. I hope you're enjoying this. As I said, I thought we just needed some little bit of light relief. All right. This Karen decided not to check the map for a parade's route, then got mad it didn't pass her house. Crazy Karen complained the elementary school parade missed her street despite there being a map of the route and it going a street over. My daughter is devastated. I feel terrible. The local school parade was today, and for whatever reason, they decided to exclude our street. So my daughter was left out. We decorated, made signs, waited almost an hour before I realized this. I'm disgusted. This is so unacceptable. We could listen to a parade all around us, and they couldn't go down one more street, a street that falls within the territory of the local school too. This is so disappointing after everything that happened with school this year. Edit. They did send a map, but I didn't check it because why would they not include every street, especially 2 blocks away? Also, why should we have to go to another street? We should get to decorate our yard and be comfortable too. I truly feel they should include all the streets. Oh dear. That's so funny. Poor Karen. Okay. So this Karen was angry that someone paid for her drink. I must say, I'd be very happy if someone paid for my drink. Karen tattles on herself. I was just in the drive-thru, and the vehicle in front of me was not paying attention and was not meaning forward. Went with the time to move forward, and so I gave him a polite little hunk. He did not like this, and once he arrived to the window, he proceeded to take as long as he possibly could at the window. And I don't know what he told the baristas, but when I got to the window, he had paid for my drink, and every single person that was working at Redacted stood at that window and gave me stink eye. And when I explained that man was rude and we didn't do it to be nice, they continued to roll their eyes at me and continued to give me stinky. I don't know what kind of etiquette training is being done at Redacted, but that made me feel terrible. And there was no reason to make me feel terrible other than you also feel terrible at the thought that it was appropriate to make others feel as terrible as you. That is disgraceful. I'm embarrassed that happened. I'm embarrassed. Who changed their staff to stand around and get stink eyes to customers who does that? I cannot believe I was treated with such disrespect, and I did not at all do anything to deserve it at all. I cannot believe that it happened. I will never be returning to Redacted, and I almost don't ever want to go to Redacted anywhere ever again. because this is the kind of attitude every redacted barista has. Every last one of you is disgusting. It is embarrassing that you think that that stuff is okay. What is wrong with these Karens and their comprehension? Because they're very hard to read, I'd just like to state. I'm having lots of trouble reading them. So, right. So there you go. This Karen knocked a star off her recipe rating because she messed up. I don't know what the male term for Karen is. Is there a male term? I don't know. I think they just say male Karen, don't they? Found yesterday, actually, Karen screws up recipe and rates it lower due to her mistake. And it's interesting because the person's name's Karen. The only reason I didn't rate higher is because I made a mistake. I never had cauliflower soup before, but I love cauliflower. This sounded so interesting I had to try it. I normally follow directions to a new recipe to the letter, but somehow I added 2 tablespoons of lemon juice instead of the one recommended. Won't do that again. Too tangy for me. It has a different flavour than what I was expecting, which isn't a bad thing. It was more savoury than I expected when I added the nutmeg. I think I prefer some sweetness to it next time, but that would make it a different soup, wouldn't it? I will definitely try again and make sure I use 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Remember another Karen that added salt to pasta and put in a whole heap of salt? Okay. So similarly, this Karen left negative feedback about her own mistake. So she purchases a product on eBay, then gets annoyed, flags the transaction as fraud. So, not my seller at all. Really did care that I bought by accident. Cancelled not even 5 minutes after and said not his problem. I purchased the product by accident and has asked me to cancel the transaction after I'd already shipped it. She then proceeded to file an unauthorized charge claim on her credit card, though. Clearly not an unauthorized charge since the buyer bid on the item. So when she contacted me about cancelling her order, I told her it had already shipped. She became belligerent and upset. It is unfortunate that this buyer's negligence will result in a negative rating, but now you all know why. This woman was a special limited edition Christmas Karen. Christmas Karens are miserable. Walked into my house and about had a heart attack. Someone redacted, wrapped a gift in blue paper. Redacted warned him that I was going to freak out and he didn't listen. Everything must match. So now that tiny gift is behind the big presents in the back. Sorry, not sorry. I'm also cringing because someone used rainbows on 2 gifts. I wish people would take me seriously. All over a wrapped present. Oh, gee whiz. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Do you know people like that? I know somebody like that. It all has to match. If it doesn't match, there's a problem. All right. So it's Ken, is it? This Karen displayed both the hallmarks of a Karen, racist and entitled. All right, Holy Trinity, a racist, choosy beggar Karen. True story. I had a lady call our clinic today saying she needed to be treated for the coronavirus because she traveled through LAX and happened to be near some Chinese people. She proceeded to berate my MA when my MA informed her that we had no test for the virus, but that if she's having SS, she would be best to go to local ED. Plot twist, she had no insurance and wanted us to see her at no cost. Ultimately, the conversation ended poorly with the lady coming back leaving a voicemail that she'll be coming back in the morning to demand to speak to the manager. I'm super pumped for her to be greeted by my Asian face. Okay. This Karen really thought this was too funny not to share. I had gone to the Subway by the hospital and got Grant a sub for lunch. We went in the drive-through. He began to eat it after we pulled off and said it was very dry, with no honey mustard on as we asked. So I called back and told them I couldn't come back because I had to be somewhere and didn't have time. The girl was nice but apologized over and over. I said, well, it wasn't good enough because it was so dry, but he ate it to have something to eat. I said, well, maybe you can write my name and number down and compensate me for the mistake since it wasn't any good. She said, okay, I will. She took my name and number. Then she said, okay, we will have some honey mustard up here for you when you come back. I said, you'll have what? She said, honey mustard. I said, no, I don't need honey mustard. The sandwich has been eaten already. I can't come back today. I said, maybe you can give some free cookies or a drink or something like that. She said, I'll have to call my boss and see what our policy is. She ended up calling me back and told me they can't do that and that she can have some honey mustard waiting for me when I come back. I said, I said, I know it's not your fault, but you'll need to take Chick-fil-A's policy to make it right by giving something free when a mistake is made. I don't need condiments, LOL. Could only shake my head. And finally, this woman was mad her fast food came like, well, fast. Ken will never get... That's true, Cal. Yes, it's always separate, isn't it? Dear Frists, on something, when someone orders a cup of tartar, that actually means they'd like it in a cup. You cannot dip your fries into packs of tartar while driving. SMH, listening is fundamental, and extra tartar on the sandwich means extra tartar, not dry burger, rant over. First world problems. What can I say? They need to start paying attention to what's being ordered. It's an everywhere problem these days. Just buy a jar to keep at home. So that is some Karens. What are your thoughts? I know Cal's had some Karen problems. What about everybody else? What about everyone else? What Karen problems have you got? Have you had? So anyway, and the other interesting thing is that our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese went and did a surprise visit to Ukraine over the last 24 hours. He's been in Ukraine to show support to you, which I thought was rather interesting. So that's rather interesting. There's been some criticism about that, these overseas, but I don't know. But yeah, I won't stay on. I won't be on for much longer, just because I'm not feeling the greatest. So I will be back. But I've got some videos to upload. They'll be uploaded and put over the next 24 hours. But yeah, do tell please. They weren't really my problems and my inconvenience, except. I mean, we had lots of Karens during the whole face mask thing, weren't? I mean, that's when a lot of Karens came out over wearing face masks and vaccination mandates and all that sort of stuff. We've seen a lot of Karens. So, how am I feeling, Bella? I'm feeling okay. I'm still suffering from nausea, and I'm still got a really bad headache. It's not migraine-like anymore. It's just a But I've essentially slept for the last 7 days. Got up, done a few things, and then gone back to bed. So tomorrow I'm actually now out. Well, tomorrow is my freedom day. I'm actually allowed out of quarantine. I don't think I will be, though. I mean, I was speaking to somebody today that said that they've been sick for 4 weeks. They've had symptoms. They've had ongoing symptoms for 4 weeks, which bothers me. But because I want to just get on with life. I don't want to, But anyway, you got to do what you got to do. I can't help it. So I'm just going to have to be patient, and I'm just going to be patient with myself, and just, realize that it's going to take me a while. It's knocked me about a bit. So, yeah. Oh, the other interesting thing is I think on Wednesday, the police. Oh, yes, I have kept my water intake up. The woman that got shafted from the job that went to Bruz before he stood down. So he actually stood down from that position. Now, the woman, she is actually due to give her evidence to the Senate committee, because she actually put in some complaints. She actually put in, she actually complained about it and to the Premier's office. So she's got all of that evidence is going to be shown. So I think it's going to be a pretty damning day. Oh yeah, it's a virtual background, Cal. It's a great piano, isn't it? I can't. I don't want to don't make me out. I don't want to be made out to be a hero or anything, because lots of people are struggling. But it just has reminded me of how how contagious the virus is, and I'm just really frustrated that we seem to be pretending. We seem to pretend as if the pandemic has disappeared, and it hasn't disappeared. At the moment, it's just been hidden by the flu. And I had all my vaccines. I was vaccinated. I'd even had my my flu vaccine. So it's. I just wish people. I got criticised because I was staying away, because people around me were getting it, and I went, well, I want to isolate, and I got told, well, as long as you're doing negative rat tests, which is what the government policy is, as long as you're doing negative rat tests, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. And everyone's getting COVID around me, and I went, you know what? I'm just going to go and get a PCR test. Went and got the PCR test. You wouldn't believe it. I was positive. And yet, who knows how many people I was walking, how many people I could have infected if I hadn't have taken it onto my own. Oh boy, did I even got criticised at the centre, at the testing centre, and said, oh, you're wasting our time, because, you just, and I went, no, I want to know one way or the other. So there you go. That's my story. So I'm very concerned about it, but, Anyway, that's my rant. I'll get off my soapbox. But look, I'll be keeping my eye on the evidence that's given, because I want to find out what's happening with this this job that Bruz had, that he's now don't have anymore. And I think what's more interesting is that I'm going to go for my second booster shot this week for COVID, which means 4 shots. So. Yeah, so you've got 4. I'm not eligible for the 4th. I know that you have to be in high risk to get the 4th. I can't get the 4th because I'm not either in the high risk category or age wise. So that's good that you can. That's great that you can have it. It won't surprise me whether they don't make it. Compulsory again, but they should have. Again, it's too late. It should have already happened, in my opinion. So, that's just my soapbox, my little rant, and I'm just saying that when I was saying about people, when I see a grand piano, I think of Pretty Woman. Yes, pretty woman walking down the street, pretty woman, kind of like to meet, pretty woman. So thank you for joining me, and I will catch you all again next time. And I don't know when that will be at the moment, due to I can only use free versions and I can't pre-record. So and I can't, so I can't really pre-record. I just have to go live. So that is why I'm going live at unexpected times. So so I can't really pre-record at the moment until I upgrade again. So thank you for joining me. Please do all the YouTube thingies, and I will catch you later. I hope you have enjoyed this replay crew. I hope you've had a good laugh as we've looked at Karen's. I just wanted something just to lighten the mood, make us all laugh and cheer us all up. And so thank you for joining me, and I will catch you again next time. You just never know when I may just turn up. All right, bye for now.